Let's see. There's our camera. Okay, so priority 3, life beyond the classroom. Opportunities for service learning, student leadership are created and rewarded at both divisional and interdivisional levels. So where we are is we are very much in the infant stages of building our service learning program. Um, we have had more field trip opportunities. I took the Model UN group to Jeju Island in Korea. But where we are with kind of incorporating service learning into our secondary school and across the campus, we started out with forming our advisory committee, which then moved into the school-wide learning outcome that dealt with service learning. So we have a leadership group, which I'm very happy to be a part of. And, you know, the next step on that, after we created the group, was to identify student leadership and how we are going to, kind of organize, create, and validate leadership or student groups, and what are the parameters of how we create these opportunities. Do we start off completely on campus and close to campus and then move out? How do we identify the student leaders? How do we train our student leaders? How do we communicate the expectations not only with the students but with the supervising adults? And then how do we communicate in a wider circle with our community and all of our other stakeholders? And then kind of what I did here is I kind of said that these two items are kind of moving parallel to each other. So we do have a service learning plan that is kind of being drafted amongst the members of the committee. And then we are collaborating with student stakeholder groups that are already working on some sort of a service learning project. We have a couple groups that have been given kind of some financial rewards for ideas, and then we have some other groups that are wanting to get started, so we're kind of working with them. And again, it's really trying to identify, the viability of these groups. Do they have the proper leadership? Do they have the understanding of what the outcome is? Can they communicate the outcome? Can they communicate the stages that they're going to work through to work towards that outcome? So this is where I think we are. How would you reflect on what I've said, and what would you like to add?
I think one critical piece that's missing is defining what service learning is.
Mm,
Um, so we do a lot of service in pockets throughout the community and throughout the campus, um, but having a clear understanding of what service learning is and what the components of that program should be is an area for growth and something that we need to kind of define, agree upon, and then publish in our documents that go out to students and parents so they understand, first of all, what is it that we all agree on when it
mhm.
comes to what service learning is? How does a student earn service hours? Like that should be uniform and not just based off of, what one teacher feels. And so those pieces are critical pieces that we need to put in place. And then, are we going to make it a graduation requirement?
Mm,
That would then put a nice little bow on
yeah.
everything. If this is what we value, it's a part of our school-wide learner outcomes, then should it not then be a graduation requirement that we adopt?
And there are many opportunities for students to get involved within the curriculum as well. Like we could, I'm really working to try to incorporate it into the Model UN curriculum. And I know that Mr. K, our student government leader, but there are many different courses on our campus that could incorporate student learning. Even, your middle school science classes could be doing stuff with the with the environment and so on. So
Or with other classes. We have 4 schools, a
true,
Montessori, 2 elementary
true.
schools. And so, again, helping people understand what service is and what it looks like. And it's not always charity. That's the first thing people think of is, we did a fundraiser, that we did this charitable thing, or we did something for this group on one day,
Hmm.
one event. Um, that's not service.
Okay.
And so helping us get a better understanding as a whole community of what service is it's obviously for growth. It's why it's a part of our WASC action steps, because it
Hmm.
was an area for growth, and just making sure we clearly define what it is and what it should look like and what we want it to look like
Mm.
in our context is extremely important.
Yeah, and we have to, when we define it, we have to understand that we have to communicate this type of stuff, these types of ideas and goals in a way that everybody can understand, not just people who know the language and are a part of the plan. And that's another challenge in and of itself. Like communicating standards-based grading to non-educated people in that area is very much a challenge, and this will be a challenge as well. All right, well, thank you for your time.